Yesterday's notes. So you're still solving systems by substituting, but you're substituting an expression instead of just a single term. So you will be distributing when you do substitution. The steps are pretty much the same as yesterday. This is 2.3a, day 2. So your steps are to identify one equation that isolates one variable. So you're looking for x equals or y equals. You may need to rearrange the equation to solve for one of the variables. So if one of your equations does not have x equals or y equals, you need to rearrange one of them so it does, so you can substitute. Substitute for that variable in the other equation. Now, this is what the important part for today is. Put expressions in parentheses. Then you're going to solve the equation from step 2. Substitute again, so you're going to substitute the result from step 3 into the equation from step 1. Pick either equation. It should work either way. Then find the value of the other variable. Write your answer as an ordered pair. So let's look at number 1. We have 2 equations there. Find one of them that has x or y on one side of the equal sign by itself. So see that first expression has x by itself. So if x equals 2y plus 9, then we can substitute 2y plus 9 for x in the second equation. So put a little parentheses around that x. That's where 2y plus 9 is going to go. So let's write 9 times 2y plus 9. So x is no longer in the equation. We've replaced it or substituted with 2y plus 9. Minus 8y equals 31. Now we only have y in this equation and we can solve it for y. First step is distribute. 9 times 2y is 18y. 9 times 9 is 81. Minus 8y equals 31. Combine like terms. Let me find another color here. So 18y and negative 8y can be combined. That's 10y plus 81 equals 31. And now we just solve. Subtract 81. And then divide by 10. So y equals negative 5. Now that I know y equals negative 5, I'm going to go back to one of my equations up here and plug in negative 5 for y. So I'm going to use the top one. You can use either one. 2 times negative 5 plus 9 equals x. So negative 10 plus 9, x is negative 1. So my final answer is ordered pair, negative 1, negative 5. Remember, it's always x, then y. So if I graphed those 2 equations on a graph, negative 1, negative 5 is where those lines would meet. Number 2, The equation that has one of the variables isolated is the first one, y equals 6x minus 7. So 6x minus 7, I'm going to put it in parentheses, and I'm going to plug it in for y in the second equation. Negative 5x plus 6x minus 7 equals negative 6. So since we're adding that expression in parentheses, I don't even need to do anything with it. I don't need to distribute a negative 1 because it's not subtracting. There's nothing to distribute that's on the outside. So I can just get rid of the parentheses and combine like terms. Negative 5x and 6x is just x minus 7 equals negative 6. Add 7. X equals 1. So now I know x equals 1, I can solve for y. Y equals 6 times 1 minus 7. Y equals 6 minus 7, so y equals negative 1. So the solution to this system is 1, negative 1. Okay, number 3. The expression that has one of the variables isolated is the first one, x equals negative 3y plus 1. So I'm going to use negative 3y plus 1, put it in parentheses, and substitute it for x in the second equation. Negative 9 times negative 3y plus 1 minus 10y equals negative 43. I have to distribute. So negative 9 times negative 3y is 27y. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. Minus 10y equals negative 43. Combine like terms. So I have 17y minus 9 equals negative 43. And now solve. Add 9. Negative 43 plus 9 is negative 34. Divide by 17, and we have y equals negative 2. Substitute negative 2 for y to find x. So x equals negative 3 times negative 2 plus 1. So x equals 6 plus 1, x equals 7. The solution is 7, negative 2. All right, number 4. The second equation in this system is the one that has a variable isolated. We have x equals 7y minus 6. So this is what we'll be substituting. 7y minus 6 is going to be substituted for x in the first equation. 5 times 7y minus 6 minus 4y equals 1. Distribute. 5 times 7y is 35y. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. Minus 4y equals 1. Combine like terms. We have 31y minus 30 equals 1. Add 30. and then divide by 31. So y equals 1. I'm going to substitute this into the second equation. You can pick either one. 7 times 1 minus 6. So this is going to end up being x equals 1. Okay, you can try the last two on your own. I'm going to just give the answers to numbers 5 and 6. You should try them on your own to see if you can get the answer correct. But the answer for number 5 is 1, negative 3. And for number 6, it's negative 3, 4. So solve those on your own. If you can't get the answer right, you can come and ask me questions. But you have another Delta Math where you're going to be practicing substituting in an expression to solve the system.